our platform is tracking what you're moving, even if you sell it or not. And that's huge, right? We're trying to do something different for the mobile bartending industry here. We're trying to tell brands and the industry that we are moving product and we are pouring all sorts of stuff. All right, guys, we are back. We are back. Today is a special day with Behind the Mobile Bar. You got your boy, Ryan, founder and CEO of Happiest Ours. Of course, CJ, founder of My Cousin of Happiest Ours, and Vivian at Thirsty Horse, aka the Parched Pony, as I always call her. We're back, and again, today is a super special day because it's a true milestone for everybody in the Happiest Hours family, because we have been on this journey to create, essentially just an all-in-one tool, business management tool, specifically for the mobile bartending community. And as we are a startup and as we create things, and especially with having our own mobile bartending business, we did things a certain way. And so we created it with that lens. But we quickly learned as we, worked with other mobile bartending companies that not everybody does things the way that everybody does things differently in their own little ways. And so even though we felt like what we've built to start off with, which, as most of you guys know, this instant booking flow, even though we felt like that's still very helpful and it has its purpose, again, we quickly learned that we needed to provide some flexibility as well, and a tool. If you want to become a all-in-one, business management tool specifically for this industry, you have to have best of both worlds. You have to have something that can really help them just put money in their pocket at the same time for them to personalize, customize, and do things on their own. So today is a very, 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 very cool, interesting, dope day for us because there's been a lot of anticipation towards this for us specifically. I know with some of the bartending companies we work with, but we finally got here. And I just want to put a disclosure before we all take a sip of whatever we're sipping on, is that we're still a startup. And we've made the conscious decision to, when we launch things, we're not going to QA QC it to death. Like that's what we used to do. Like it would take weeks, months, like after the thing was the core thing was done, take weeks or months for us to actually put it out and make it live. This time around, we did like a half QA QC. We kind of QA QC some core stuff that we felt like, okay, well, it's got to be able to do this. But then we said, let's just put it out to the community early, because I feel like we're all in this together and we're all going to make it better for each other. And, rising tide lifts all boats, that whole thing, right? It's just all like, I'd rather get the feedback from everybody versus trying to figure it out. And then it comes out later and all that stuff. So with all that being said, without further ado, we are going to grab our glasses and celebrate. I don't know what y'all sipping on. I was actually not planning on, y'all really got something to drink. I was drinking my Spindrift.
What?
I was going to have a
drink.
I was going to have a non-alcoholic day. You know what I mean?
It's a momentous occasion.
You don't have to drink.
You don't have to drink, but it is a moment.
But is it bad luck on a momentous occasion to cheers?
I think so I'm going to go ahead and Lana's going to probably edit this and fast forward my ass getting something to drink, but I'll be right back. All right.
I've been doing good about not drinking.
I'm back.
Okay.
Hey, really? Wait, we're missing a really good game. It is 5 points and 1 minute and 40 seconds. Hopefully we're on the podcast and we just win and we'll just watch the highlight.
Yeah.
But with that being said, ladies first, what you sipping?
Oh, I got a girly looking drink. Just a simple G&T, but I threw some hibiscus in there and some crappy refrigerator ice. Is that like embarrassing? Do you guys hate showing people your drinks with crappy fridge ice? It just takes the quality down.
I hear you. For someone that's all about the aesthetics, which, you make your stuff look great.
Yeah. What is that?
I understand where you're coming from, but as long as my shit gets cold, like I'm good with whatever ice you want to use.
About to say, I am but a humble man
Right.
Who am I to choose between ice?
Yeah.
Is it frozen water or not?
It's cold. It does the trick. But yeah, just a Hendrix gin and tonic with some hibiscus. Easy peasy.
Boom. Boom. CJ, what you sipping on, bro?
I have me. Shouts out to Cody Go. Vivian representing. Got Cody Go and Yeho.
Bring him
And
closer.
also shouts out to Sir Davis. There you go. There you go.
Oh,
Shouts
nice.
out to Sir Davis for the beautiful glass. The nice little snifter who hosted us at a lovely event in LA in Santa Monica not that long ago on a nice rooftop somewhere. But
That was
amazing experience. Yeah.
Yep.
I was messaging Ryan or whoever was messaging, like, I need that bar with the pony on it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
How much money do we have to offer them for that bar with the parched pony on it? I don't know how you didn't just
Yes.
So true. I was just all like, man, that's such a Beyonce thing. I was like, good luck trying to anything like that. She gonna get but you came first. I'll say that.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna have to go in a different whiskey direction. Of course, I got the hat on.
Hey.
This episode of Behind the Mobile Bar is sponsored by Off Hours. Off Hours. It's great whiskey, but yeah, our guys at Off Hours, man, they're fantastic. They're all about
Move the bottle over.
Oh, what you mean?
In front of your face.
In front of your face.
Oh, in front of my face?
There you go.
Boom. There we go.
Off Hour.
Off Hours, baby. It's this bottle is for the moments in between. And we're gonna just sip to that one time. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys. Clink.
Cheers.
Ooh.
Like a fun house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Now we're awake. Woo.
Let's jump right into it, guys. Let's make this happen. The wait is over. We're excited for this launch. It happened at 9:30 this morning. Right now it's 9 p.m. So it's been a full-on 12 hours. And it's great. And we had to do this podcast. We normally do it on Mondays, but we wanted to really do it when this thing is launched so that we can use it in real life time. So again, I put a disclaimer on there. I'm going to speak in ways of what's going to happen and also what's happening now and how to use it now, but then what we're going to change and all that stuff there. So we might be doing this again when it's even perfected even more. But yeah, we're excited. This is a big reveal for us. Again, we're one step closer to that full scale business management tool that we want to be. All right, so I'm going to share screen, and the first thing I'm going to do is go here. Let me do this first before I jump.
I'm stoked. This was my day one ask since day one.
Right.
How many years? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm excited.
Sure, we've been, especially Ryan, but been at this for I think almost a year. Over a year, longer than a year.
This specific new launch. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. It's funny. I was just talking to a bartender the other day, and she was like, "Yeah, I took some coding classes, and I thought I could build something for myself." And then she quickly realized how hard it is, and I reminded her even the professionals, they always think, "Oh, this is gonna be easy," But then when you really break things down, there's a lot of work and effort and thought process that goes into it.
Right.
And so we're very fortunate that someone like Ryan and our team over in Pakistan, love those guys, that they're killing it and are able to see this dream come to fruition.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Great. Yeah, no, good call, CJ. And also fortunate for the day ones and everyone on the platform now, right? And just kind of dealing with what we have to offer. And I'm sure there's some form of value in where it was at before all of this, because look, at the end of the day, people wouldn't use it or jump on or whatever. But at the same time, it's definitely not perfect. And so this is where the community aspect of what we have means a lot. And I think that you guys had some trust in us to say that hey, we've seen the progress of where they're going, and I feel like they're going to keep going, and it's only going to get better, and it'll get to a point where it's good. But even some of the stuff that we had as our core it's going to have a huge purpose down the line, like from the big vision of what we see, you know. So we're just kind of tiptoeing and going through scenarios and situations, but I think this is going to be great for everybody. And now again, there's multiple ways that you can get business and do bookings. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now. So here, of course, we're going to use the infamous
the one and only.
The one and only Mr. Jordan over here. And as you guys can see, things have kind of changed a bit with the profile pages. I would advise everyone to change their actual main page. I think it might have shifted for some people, but you see the format's a little bit different. And then we think it's just a bit better this way. And you can go to like view all, and you can view all your photos here if they wanted to. So pretty cool, UI feature there. But essentially, it's all the similar stuff. It's nothing crazy different. But what we want to talk about here is that now you get best of both worlds. And when people land on your profile page, they can do one of two things. They can either say, hey, I want your convenience package, which you're going to provide everything, and I want to just instantly book you now. And that's the one and only cocktail package, the Thirsty Horse cocktail package, the such and such cocktail package. It's essentially going to be you're providing everything. And again, that we want those kind of customers. There's more meat on the bone for us when it comes to profits and things of that nature. And you control the entire experience so that when you show up to these events, it's your bar, it's your cocktails, it's your this, it's your that, and you're going to increase your chances of one of those people wanting to book you type of thing. And it's streamlined. It's your top cocktails normally. So you have all the inventory and all the stuff for these things. So that is the cocktail package. Now, the only second other thing that can happen is this custom quote. And essentially what this is a form. This is what we're all used to. People filling out a form and submitting. And then you get some type of notification like, hey, somebody is interested in your services. Here is a lead, kind of thing. That is what this custom quote is for, or at least from a process standpoint. Now what it's for, it's mainly for like, okay, if customers want something very personalized, or they want to talk to you about their event, or they just want to pick and choose what they want, or maybe it's a wedding and they need you to show up at 12, but the wedding doesn't really start till 4, and they don't know how to do that in your quoting tool, right? So these are all things that again, not everything fits in that convenience box. So that's why we created this. Now, again, I'll speak in terms of like what's coming. So what's going to happen is this, you see the words change. So the only one and only sell package, right? This is going to show the same thing for the most part for everybody. The custom quote will be flexible. There'll be a box in your dashboard, and you can type in what this is. You could say, oh, if you want a mixology class, oh, if you want a bartender only, or if you want whatever. You can type in whatever this custom quote means to you and why people should contact you for the custom quote option. Okay, I'm going to go through this custom quote first so that we can look at the tool behind it. Then we can come back to the cocktail package. Now, so here I'm going to type, the person is looking for a custom quote. They're typing.
Can I interrupt you, Ryan?
Yeah, please do.
I'm sorry. Can we see if there's a shift within that side panel when you're clicking, toggling back and forth?
I love that you said that. So
it stays the same. Okay.
What's that? Zoom in, you said?
Zoom in.
Yep. Good call. Let's go 150, baby. Boom. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see if you guys can, or maybe this will take too much time, but let's see if you can see what the difference is. Boom.
I see one. Yeah.
You guys see anything that's popping out?
I see 2. Yeah.
What do
the where it says custom quote on the side panel, that changes between one and only cocktail package. Then it'll say custom quote, and then below phone number it says optional.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing there. What we did was, right, when it comes to the instant booking portion of it, we want them to answer the least amount of questions possible so they can keep going next, and they can just pay. Like we want them to pay. You know what I mean? And then you can figure stuff out. So, like for example, a phone number, I don't need that right now. They just want to see what the price is. And if the price is acceptable to them, they're going to say continue booking. And that's a really big sign that, okay, price is not an issue. Now it's all like, okay, if that lead drops off after they say continue booking, it's just more so of like, okay, what is it? And you can reach back out to them type of thing. But the phone number, if you go to the one and only cocktail package, the phone number is asked when they're actually ready to pay. So I don't need to ask that right now. I want them to see if they're willing to move forward. But with the custom quote option, you would like to have their information, right? Because you're going to be reaching back out to them. You want to see them as a lead. So that's the biggest thing. You hit it, Vivian. With the one and only package, it's optional. They don't have to type it in to see the price and move forward. With the custom quote, if they want to submit, they have to give their phone number. Okay. So let's say number of guests, the date. I'm going to pick like a date from a month from now. Start time, let's say 3 o'clock. End time, 6 p.m., 3 hours. You put in your contact information. It does this with my little thing. And then email address, boom, right? And then phone number, right? So I'm just going to put some random phone number. I don't know. It shouldn't allow you to go more than whatever, unless we're going into different countries.
Never know.
Right. So now you
8675309.
What's that?
8675309. The phone number song.
Oh, yeah.
8675309.
Way over my head. Yeah, you have to sing it. You can't just say the number.
I know. I don't know if I was ready for that yet. I haven't hit my drink enough. Maybe a little further down the recording.
There you go. So
don't worry, I got you.
On here and they say request a quote. Boom. So this is going to show up. Thanks for submitting. Now Jordan's going to get an email. He's like, hey, what's this? But
Ryan, what's requesting from me?
Right.
So when they're requesting a custom quote, there will be no estimated price shown to them.
No, because they don't.
We don't know. Yeah.
We don't know what they want. We don't know if they want bartender only, if they want a mixology class, if they want this crazy wedding. We don't know what they want. This is just more so they're interested in talking to you. Now, here's the crazy thing, right? I fill out all this information. Look, if I go to this cocktail package, it shows the price, right? So they can toggle back and forth.
Why does it say $20 on there though?
That's another thing too. That should say nothing on there, right? It should just say a dash. Good catch on that. That should be a dash. But here, it'll show you his price. And then what's also new is this alcohol added later, right? So before, if you remember, it just said the price. Is this with alcohol, without alcohol? What's going on here? Once they keep clicking, they see the alcohol piece and they see the more money. Now it's clear as day, like, hey, this is for everything but the booze, and then this is for the booze type of thing as they go along. But again, we won't go through the package piece because everybody's kind of familiar with that, except for if you're a newer bartending company watching this. We'll quickly go over that towards the end. But the biggest thing is that someone's requested for a quote from you and you received a lead. So now if I go, let me log out of here and I'm going to log into Jordan's.
While we do that, I just want to say the excitement is real. I was super excited. Vivian got an inquiry right before we started the podcast. Beloved Cocktails just got an inquiry.
All right.
Maritza, Be Elevated Cocktails just got an inquiry.
Wow.
So like guys, it's working. And what's great is, this is really helping us see the traffic that's happening. Maybe people are going through your front end of the platform and they just have a question or there's just one thing. And now you're being able to track their information, answer those questions. And if you have to customize your quote, you can customize it. Or if it's just a quick little hiccup, you can solve it for them on the front end. So exciting. I'm just getting giddy watching you guys get money. Yeah.
Cool.
Always what I love to see.
Oh, I need to go in there and fix that, huh?
Yeah, you got to add your pictures in here for sure, because now it's showing more photos than than what it did before. So yeah, that's something that you for sure want to add. But no, yeah, no, CJ's exactly right. This is, you need to have this on your, if you have your own website, just like how Vivian has her own website, you need to have your call to action to go here, because now this is everything for you. It can gather the information. Like most people have a form after they hit that CTA book now or whatever, or give me your information, whatever your CTA is, it's a form. Well, why not have an instant booking option as well in addition to a form? Because you don't know what they're willing to do. You don't know what space the customer's head is in. They may have been dealing with 13 other vendors, and if they have a way to put one to bed, like budget's not an issue. If they have a way to put one to bed, they're going to do that. They're going to be like, this is great. I'm just going to pay this. I don't want to have to deal with it. And let's just move forward. And if you just have just a form, that's when, they may skip to the next bartender and find out who else has this option, type of thing. So you just need to, I think you need to give yourself options, right? And that's what we want to do here. Right. So now
all my buttons on my website, everything, it just dumps everybody directly into my Happiest site.
Right.
No, nothing. It's obnoxious. I have like 12 buttons on the screen. They can't miss it. You accidentally click on the right, it's taking you to the platform.
Right. And then what's great, and then like another thing, right? I like to show, like I always do like cocktails by Hawk whenever I'm doing onboarding stuff, right? So you go to his call to action. It goes to his profile page. And now people can come in here, they can book them in a package, or they can get a custom quote with him if they wanted to, So, and bear in mind, guys, like this is for people that we have the ability to provide the alcohol in your city, state, wherever. For folks that we don't have that ability yet, we will have something for you real soon, which is going to be awesome. So stay tuned for that. But so now this is your dashboard. Right? This is the dashboard, and this is, what you guys are used to if you've been on the platform, right? Now, you have this quotes tool that's here, and you can see I have one inquiry here that was from me earlier. That came in as that custom quote situation. And now what you can do here is you can hit this icon, and it opens up that quote, like it opens up for you to provide a quote for this situation, and it pulls in the information for you, right? This weird phone number I put in, and my name, and the date, and the start time, end time, all this, the guest, everything, whatever they've filled out, will pull it into here. Now, if I go back, you can also go to new quote, right? And you can start from fresh, right? So let's just kind of take a step back here and what this quoting tool is used for. This is probably going to be, I would say, maybe 70% plus of your bookings. Why? Because you're getting your own leads. People are in your DMs, they're calling you, they're texting you, they're filling out forms, they're coming at you in this type of way. And they more than likely, if you get on the phone, you'll have a good chance of closing them through your personality, your sales skills, your whatever, and personalizing the experience, right? So that's what this tool is for. When people are hitting you up in those multiple ways through your own lead, and it comes to you somehow, some way, through a referral, whatever the situation is, you pull up this quoting tool and you use it and you figure out what they need. So I'm going to open up the one that we have here. Now, if I go back, you can, so let me save this, because then you could say something. Let me do this. And I'm going to go to new. Now you can create templates as well. So if I create a template, let me save this as a template. Template name. Let's call this
mixology
class. Okay. Oh, it wants you to put in something. So like these are little things here. Like I said, guys, we're learning through this together. Like I shouldn't have to put in a name to save the template, right? So, okay, save as a template. Mixology class. Okay, cool. It wants you to put in some name in there. Right? Okay, cool. So now I'm going to leave. Now, if I go to new quote, here's your template. So now you can,
very cool.
as you create as you create, your template, let's say you're doing your first mixology class on the platform, not your first one, but the first one you're booking on the platform, and you're creating the template for it and you're doing it. Now you can save it and you can always have that. So now you can just, you don't have to fill out the whole thing all over again. You can just open this thing up and now you just have to adjust the information, right? And then you can send out another like quote or invoice or whatever. So it's pretty cool. You can have multiple templates. If you're in Southern California, you have the ability, if you're on the platform, you have the ability to sell cocktails. That's another template that you can have on here. And we'll go through that through a whole nother video, because I know we did the selling cocktails video for you folks, but we can also quickly go through how I would use this tool in that situation as well. But you can have all sorts of template, bartender only template, or whatever template, this template, that template. Cool. So going back to here, get the address, the number of guests, the event date, your start time, end time, drinking pace. This is kind of a new thing here. So we added this in because we just know that there's different types of events that you can have a better feeling. You never know how much people are going to really drink, but you have a better feeling. Out of all the events that we've done, we can say, okay, if it's daytime corporate party, they're probably not getting after it like that, right? If it's a bachelorette party, they're probably going to get out in Palm Springs. They're probably going to go nuts, that kind of thing. And then everything else in between. So
your events on a Tuesday.
Right. Your events on a Tuesday. Don't bring 30 bottles of tequila. You just don't need to. For 25 people. What are you giving a bottle each to everybody? Is that what you're doing? Like, so it's like these are things that you can adjust and figure it out, because the reason why you want to adjust is because it can adjust the price for your customer. That's the biggest thing. You can change your price because you're providing less mixers and stuff like that for those estimated amount of cocktails that you're looking to make. And then also the amount of alcohol that they need to buy for their event can be adjusted as well, right? So as you can see here, the estimated amount of drinks, if it's standard, it's 200. If it's light, it's 150. Party, it's at 300. And this depends on the number of guests and the hours, right? So it calculates this for you. And then there's this info icon that just kind of gives you an example. So light is 1 cocktail per person per hour. It's best for corporate events, daytime parties, family friend gatherings, wine, beer, heavy crowds, right? That kind of thing. So you can have that there. Family friend gatherings, that could be a heavy situation too. So it depends on the family, right? But
click on the party info icon. I want to see what that's at.
2 cocktails per person per hour. Best for late night parties, bachelorette parties, big let's rage crowds.
Let's rage. It actually says it.
They're trying to get after it. When you walk in, oh man, they're gonna get after it today. That's what you need to make sure you're prepared for that, right? It might mean more bars, it might mean more juices, whatever you're doing, prepare.
Yeah.
So that's what that drinking pace is. Okay, we're gonna stick with the standard. Pick the event type, indoor, outdoor. This is all information, client information, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Bartender package. This is important. This is your side of things. This is your money. This is what you're charging them for. Okay. So now it's purely flexible. You can do whatever you want here. Now, you also have the guidance of your pricing calculator. Okay. So if it's something where it feels like a convenient package, right, where you're providing mostly everything or everything, like you can still book them through the quoting tool. You don't have to put them through the instant booking flow. And the major reason for the bartending companies is 5%. We take a 5% fee if you use the quoting tool. Okay. And that's really mainly to pay for the payment processing fee for when they process the payment, which is roughly about 3%. We make a little 2% on top of that. This is just for the tech to continue to keep going. Right. So it's a lower fee, and we're very transparent about it when it comes to fees and all that stuff. So let's say you are going to create this quote. Now you have 2 options provided by this. For anybody that's used Honeybook or Square, or any invoicing tool out there, there are some nuances and some differences that we specifically put in here that we felt like would be great for the mobile bartending community. We may find out that was stupid and we may change it, but we feel like this is helpful. So provided by the bartending company, right? Or the client. We know that sometimes the client, they want, hey, I'll go get the ice, right? So you want to put in here 20 pounds of ice. Type in whatever you need them to get, right? So now at least it adds it to this invoice of what the client's going to provide. So no one forgets who's doing what, or you don't forget, right? Client provide, oh, we have a on-site bar, right? That's what happens most of the times, right? Sometimes they have their own bar in the backyard or their bar at the venue or whatever. And so when you're going through your event, you got 20 events. You're like, wait, shit, do I need a bar for this one or not? It's all here. You put the information in here, you can see it, right? So there's that. Then you have the bartending company. Let's say you're doing I'm going to call it the one and only package. It's one of those packages. He knows that his cost, this is the other different piece. We break things down into cost, profits, and then your price, right? Obviously, cost plus your profits equals your price, right? So you put in 500 here. And look, if you don't know what this is, just put whatever the number is in whatever bucket. You know what I mean? All the customer is going to see is the price. You don't have to worry. You're going to see the cost and the profits. If you're just trying to go fast, just put it in the cost or the profits. But it's just a way of rewiring, like, wait, how much money am I really making off of this package here? And the site actually kind of tracks this stuff. It has your overall, like for the month, on average, this is what your profits are, this is what your expenses are, and stuff like that.
And that's what I was gonna say is you can really utilize this tool by being accurate with your profit and margins. So then you, as a business owner, have a clear picture, and now you have one place that you can go to, knowing you can click on that home button on that left-hand driver's side,
Right.
and then you can a snapshot of how much revenue have you made, how much profit have you made, how much have you paid out in expenses, right? Or how much of that revenue was cost, how much of that revenue was profit. And so we always have a phrase, right? The data that you put in is going to be the data that you get out, right? If you're just throwing numbers, right? If you say, hey, I'm going to spend $600 in profit, but I'm not taking into account the cost of my bartenders, the cost of the cleanup, everything, then you could be making yourself look a lot better than what you're really doing.
Right. 100%. So it's just a thought process, right? Of just all like, hey, just okay, you're charging $1,000 for this. Like, do you know roughly like what your cost is with this $1,000 package type of thing? So it just lets you think that way, right? So I'm gonna say 50-50 here, right? So 500 for cost, 500 for profits. And so you can see here, it automatically comes up with the price, and it automatically comes with the total item amount. Sorry, go ahead.
Zoom in again, Ryan.
Zoom in. Up. Oh, that's right. I'm not at 150. What happened? Why did that change? Oh, because I picked a new tab. Good call. So yeah, 500 cost, 500 profit. You see it automatically calculates the price and the total item amount. Now the total item amount would change if I change the quantity, right? Let's say he's providing 2 packages. See, now it's 2,000, right? 5 packages, 5,000, right? So
what is this monies that you're entering right now? That is referring to what item?
So whatever.
That's the bartender package.
Right.
Okay.
Because I haven't added the item yet. So this is all for this one item, right? And we'll do a second one. One and only package, whatever that means. We're doing one of those. Okay. Save and add. Cool. So now you see here.
Okay.
Yep. It doesn't do anything until you save and add it. So once you do that, then boom, it comes over here to this side, and you can see what the customer will see.
Got it.
$1,000, and that's it. Now I'm going to do bartender provide, let's say mixers. Let's say a part of his package didn't include the mixers. And he's going to provide mixers for how many cocktails is he making? You can look here. Total drinks, 200 drinks is what he's estimated to make. So I'm going to say 200. And he knows that his rough cost is about 80 cents. About 0.80. See, that's another thing. That's a good catch there. Why do I have to put 0 before the decimal? So I need to change that. And let's say he wants to profit 15 cents. Right? His price per item is 95 cents times the 200. He's making $190 off of that. right? Save and add. Cool. Now let's add it on here, right? All makes
Got
sense,
it. Mhm.
right? Now, again, we're fully transparent. Platform fee. Out of this, the biggest thing that's changed before, if you've been on the platform before, we would show a platform fee. Our whole thing about doing that was that, like, hey, we don't want to take any money from you guys. This is what the customer is going to pay in order to utilize your software, type of thing, and get access to the alcohol and all this stuff, right? We listened clearly that mobile bartenders hated to explain that to their customers. It was just
Mhm.
there, and I get it. Again, this is why we're very empathetic when we create this stuff, because we've done it ourselves. We are trying to explain something to them about our services. We're selling them the dream. We're saying you should do this and do that. Now to have to explain a whole nother thing, it's just like it's just you're just fighting an uphill battle, right? And when you do all that stuff. So we understood that, and we said, okay, we're going to internalize the profit margin. And so I mean the platform fee. And so there now, in order to do that, though, I want to make sure that it's transparent. Like, it's not like you forgot, like, oh, snaps, I forgot that they take 5%. No, it's right here, clear as day. 56.67 is what we're going to take out. This is what's going to go into your pocket, right? So it's clear as day. And because you may say, man, I need to make $1,200 off of this event. I have to, no matter what. Okay, then come in here and
Bump it up somewhere else. Yeah.
do whatever you need to do to get what you feel like you need to get, so you can control that aspect of it. But I think this is very common. If you Airbnb, Peerspace, all these platforms, they charge some type of fee for the bartender to be on there. And again, we're not charging a crazy fee for the quoting tool. It's more so of everyone knows that there's a payment processing fee that happens that somebody's going to pay for. So we're not charging you guys for that. We internalize that, and then we just add a 2% on top of that. So there's that.
Yeah, the best way I put it to bartending companies is you now have the power. If you want to pass along that service fee to your client, you can. Or
Right.
if you want to just, hey, I want to eat it and I want to hook them up, then it's up to you as to what you want to do.
Right. 100%. And so on here as well, you can add discounts, right? So you can call your discount whatever you want. I'm going to say one and only April, right? I'm going to give $100 off. Apply. Boom, $100 off. Now, another thing that I want to change is, instead of it saying discount, I want it to say whatever you typed in here, right? Because it might not be a discount, right? It might be like something you owed them. Maybe you gave them a credit for an event or something like that. So that's something that will be forthcoming and change as well. Another thing that somebody from the community had a great point. Most invoicing tools will have some type of like a note box under each item that they can type in and explain what this item is, right? So for like the one and only package, under there, they may want to say like, this includes blah, 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 right? So, that's one thing that we'll put in the roadmap of things to add in here that I think that could be helpful. We do have this additional information and contract section. So like all of your notes can come in here. And so in the meantime, you can just type in like, hey, this one and only package includes blah, blah here. You can do that here instead of like under each itemized thing. But I do think that
go on the client side, right?
yes, it will show on the client side. This will show on the side, right? So you see that there, boom, right? There's that. So this is again, this is purely your section. You create what you want, however you want. Your services, mixology classes. I need to be here for an extra 4 hours for this wedding for whatever reason. Tasting experience, bartender only, this and that and the third. You do whatever you want there. Now, the drinks and alcohol section. This is probably the most unique piece out of this invoicing tool or quote tool, is because you're able to select the alcohol that you want to provide for your customers, right? Again, our biggest thing, taking a step back, our biggest thing was that I noticed all these the mobile bartending industry was disconnected to me. It was like, okay, I can do all these things, but then here's this shopping list to go and buy all these things. And it's not the mobile bartender's fault. They just can't legally sell the alcohol. So it was this weird thing that, and we're leaning towards this very convenient world that we live in. And that's the complete opposite of convenience, is telling them to go do something. And so we wanted to combine all this. And we first did it with the instant booking flow. Now we're doing it with the quoting tool as well. So here, what's happening here is you can say provided by the store or the client. We all know sometimes you have events where the client has the alcohol already, right? So for those of you that are on the platform or that are not on the platform that don't even sell the alcohol, you can use this tool. This tool can happen for any booking that you have. You can use it, right? Here's the biggest thing that I'll address first. Even if you're not selling the alcohol, I would still highly recommend that you press this client provides button and just add it on there. Just say
Unless they get a call. Yeah.
Just do it. The client's going to provide some rum. Are you providing the cocktail, or are you just doing a kind of open bar, like build drink situation? Cool. If they selected cocktails from you, cool. Pick your pina colada and add it on there. But let's say you're doing just a gin and tonic and that type of stuff. Just go to custom, pick any brand. It doesn't matter at this point, and put it on there. Why? Because what's happening here is that it's telling your customer what you need them to provide for the event.
Oh, that's super cool.
The customer doesn't know how much they need, right? So they may have a lot, but they may not have a lot, and so it can do that. As you can see here, quick little errors. It's going to say rum and then Bacardi white rum. Like, we're going to still recommend brands for them to buy, but they can buy whatever they want, obviously.
But that's cool. This is a time saver because now I don't have to go and send them a second email with a shopping list of what to get.
Absolutely. Yeah. Or you can provide it for them, one or the other. But like, I know that this is more so of if the customer already has it, or they're adamant about you not providing the alcohol. They're just like, no, I'm just going to get it myself. Or my cousin has a hookup, he's going to get it. Or somebody else is going to buy the booze for me, type of thing. And I would still argue and say we can still provide the alcohol and just have that person pay for it. Again, we don't want to fight any battles here you want the business, right? So if that's what they say,
what mama wants, mama gets.
Maybe you offer it once, but then don't shove it down their throats, type of thing, right? But here's another thing that's great about this. Our platform is tracking what you're moving, even if you sell it or not. And that's huge, right? We're trying to do something different for the mobile bartending industry here. We're trying to tell brands and the industry that we are moving product and we are pouring all sorts of stuff. And this platform is tracking. Now, we're going to create a dashboard where you can see all this stuff. But right now we have, if you need us to pull data, we can easily pull data for you on your behalf and say, hey, this is how much you push through the platform, but this is also an estimated amount of how much you actually poured.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
That's important. You can use that data for whatever. Go to your favorite tequila company and talk to them about something. Like, hey, I pushed 200 cases a month, whatever it is. So that's why it's important, even if you're not providing the alcohol. And I emphasize this because people use our platform because they only think it makes sense only when I sell the alcohol to use the platform. We created this to where so you can have one tool for everything. Okay. So I'm going to get rid of these client provide situation. This is like so big to me now. So that's interesting. Okay. Now, if I go to, hold on. That's why I was like, where's the trash can at? There it is. I have to slide it over. Okay. So now store.
You're at
what's that?
You're at 150 Zoom.
Right.
It's running out of space.
Right. Exactly. Let's go. So now let's act like you're going to provide the alcohol for this event. Okay. Store's going to provide, let's go gin, and let's do a gimlet. Cool. Now, this is Jordan's, platform. So it's connecting to his cocktails. So if you go to your cocktail section here, you can upload your cocktails and you can create your cocktails by the ingredient, by the ounce. whatever brands you choose, specifically alcohol brands you choose for those cocktails, they're going to automatically pop up here, right? So you go to save and add, cool. He has aviation gin as his gin. That's what's going to pop up. It's telling he needs 16 bottles of aviation gin. The reason why it seems like a lot for 3 hours and 50 guests is because that's the only bottle that's there. As we add more items, it's going to split up. Okay. So now let's say store provides, and let's go rum, but then everyone should have a custom option. If you go custom, then it'll allow you to select the brand that you want. Now, we are only going to have certain brands on here. We obviously have our preferred brands, and we might have some secondary brands on here. If there is a brand that you have to have, you're doing a brand activation, this customer really loves this, just let us know. Hit the support line. We will add the product on there for you, and then you can come in here and pick it. Just know that if it's not a preferred brand, the customer cannot return it. Return the unopened preferred brand. If it's not preferred, it's final sale. Like anywhere else, it's final sale type of thing. So that is the difference. But you can, if you pick custom, you can pick whatever brand you want. So I'm going to add that there. Now, as you can see, the items are reducing because I added 2 cocktails. And I'm going to go store provides. Let's go. I'm going to add some beer. Cool. Let's do some Modelo's. Cool. Now I got Modelo's. I got a couple of cases of Modelo's on there. I'm going to add some wine. Let's go. I can type things in. White wine. I'm going to go this Sirocco. Cool. 4 bottles of that.
If we hit that little pencil to edit, are we able to drop in more than those 4 bottles of what's suggested?
So great question. You don't even have to press that pencil. You can just
hit it there
and just change it. It's going to always tell you what it suggests, and it's going to pre-populate what it's suggesting, but you can always come in here and change it, right? And you see I put 6 there. It changed 6 here, and it changed the price and all the stuff that's associated with it. And the whole concept here is that you know your guests better than we do, than the algorithm does. You may say, man, these people love Moscato. Like, so you may say, let's add more Moscato and less Modelo's. You may say that, right? Or less tequila, more Moscato, whatever. You can do that however you best see fit, right? Bear in mind, though, I'm glad you brought this up, Viv, because if I add another product after I've adjusted the amount, it's going to adjust everything.
Got it.
Back to what it thinks. So I would add everything you need to add on there that you're providing for the event, and then make the adjustments after.
Okay.
Right. So like, yeah, I'm going to show you here. I'm going to add a mezcal drink. Let's go peachy, whatever that is. See, now I went back to 4. Okay. So now you need to go back and change it to 6. So just FYI there. Another thing that we're going to probably add in the roadmap is, I understand that sometimes customers just want special bottles. They may just want an añejo. They may just want this or that. And they just want a few of them. And so therefore, it really shouldn't affect your cocktail count. You just want to add a bottle to this. There's a roundabout way that you can do that here, but it's kind of messy. We are going to add something to where you can just go in there and you can add something without affecting the suggested items. So we're going to figure that out and do that. In the meantime, if you need to do something like that, hit the support line. We will figure it out for you, and we'll do it for you guys. So we're always here to help, that kind of thing. Okay, so now you see the total alcohol. Everything pops up over here. It estimates the taxes that you're going to need, that the customer is going to need to pay for it, and that's the total amount right there. So that's the alcohol piece. Any thoughts or questions here?
No, it seems pretty straightforward. I like it.
Ran through it.
I know it's straightforward because people are already using it. Yeah.
There you go. It's making sense to people. That's great. And then we have the additional information and contract. So this is where you can add whatever notes. And I didn't upload a contract for Jordan yet, but I should. But if you have, there's a contract section now on the side. Oh, here's another thing. I'm glad you said, CJ, with it zooming in. I'm going to have the tech guys create, most like platforms, there's a way you can like hide the panel. So I'm going to do that
Yeah.
as well, hide it so it makes everything bigger type of thing. So that's coming too. But there's this contract section. You can upload as many contracts as you want. Well, let me take that back. I don't know as many. I haven't tried that yet, but I know you can at least upload 3 or 4 or 5. So whoever uploads the most, please let me know. Then I can change what I'm saying here.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Also,
you
he
can,
has contracts.
what's that?
I said, why do you have so many contracts?
Right, exactly. Like, what's going on here? What are you offering here? This is more than bartending, buddy. What you doing? But so here you can have a selling cocktails contract. You can have a mixology contract. You can have a whatever contract. You can pick the one that makes sense. What I would say with these contracts, make it vague, not vague, but make it generic. Like, I know some people have their contracts with the actual event address in there and all that stuff. Like, you can do that too. If you want to go into the contract, put in all that stuff, and then upload that particular contract, you can do that. But what I would probably do is I would make it generic so that you don't have to keep doing that, and then just add notes and just have the contract reference the notes kind of thing. But do whatever you see fit. This is, again, flexibility portion. Okay. All right.
Real quick, about contracts. Just know that you're just copy and pasting your contracts in. So no need to download a file or anything like that. You'll make your edits. So if you are one of those who edits and adds your client's information at each contract, you'll do the edits, you'll get it right, copy it, paste that bad boy right into that contract section.
Right. No, great point, CJ. Yeah. So when we were developing this, we had the idea of like, okay, upload your contracts, upload the document, and it will like populate here. But it seemed to be more flexible for them to just upload the content of the contract, and then they can make adjustments as they go. So for the people that do want to change it every single time, that's much easier than you uploading it every single time, because you can just change one word or one address, one whatever. So yeah, that's what we did there. Okay, the payment portion. Okay, so you can give the option to the customer to pay in full. That's the full 1090 there. Or they can split it into payments. What's great about this is pure flexibility again. If you want to do $100 deposit, you can do that. You can. I know, right? It's so funny.
Who does that?
Yeah, I was talking to another bartending company. He's like, "No, you're going to have to bump that thing up." You know, he said it's funny, but some people do that. They just say $100 deposit to lock it in, but they say it's non-refundable, whatever, or 10%, whatever they do, it's non-refundable. I trust you. You're going to pay me the rest of my money. And to some people, that could be enticing, right? They just want to know, they just want to lock in the date, kind of thing, and not pay so much up front. But I agree with you, Viv. That's why the platform, the customer facing, is a 50% thing. And it's just, look, us mobile bartenders need to buy ingredients and do all these things prior to the event. I need to spend my time, energy, and effort into this event prior to actually bartending. So that costs money. So anyways, but again,
not to like beat a dead horse or anything about those deposits, but let's say, yeah, you only collect, I'm just speaking out. If you only collect $100 and then your client's party happens to be, a week away and they got to pay the balance, but they spent all this money putting up balloons and ordering catering and getting, Bad Bunny to come DJ for you, whatever. Now you don't have money to pay for you. Now you're 1 week out, and yeah, it's a non-refundable deposit, but it's just $100. What's $100 going to do for you?
Right.
Well, let's say it was $500, and now like, well, hey, that's my $500 now for all this time and effort I put into your event.
Bingo.
And now you're going to ghost me on.
Bingo. I love that. So this is one way to approach it, and you just have to look at those angles if you're going to do something like this. That's the gamble you're taking. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So according to Vivian, let's make this $500 so it just feels and looks better to people. All right, but
it bothered me, even though it's just pretend. It gave me anxiety.
Right. We're gonna do
my money.
Right. So we're gonna do $500. You can pick a due date for the first payment due date. Now, again, this doesn't matter. The customer's gonna pay when they want to pay, but you can emphasize like, hey, and this is where you can add urgency to things. Like, hey, I need you to pay it by this date, or you're taking the risk of me getting booked on your day. You can do stuff like that. So let's pick the second. This is what's great, and this is what's part of what Happiest Hours adds value and helps out. we're going to automatically take that second payment 3 days prior to your event date. Automatically. Okay. I'm going to say automagically, right? It's just going to automatically do that and just take that payment. And now you don't have to chase money. You don't have to remind people. You don't have to have awkward conversations. It's just automatically going to do that. And what's great about it is not like we're just secretly taking money out of their bank account. We're sending all these notifications. We are like 5 days before the event, 4 days before the event. We're saying, this is what we're going to do. This is what's going to happen. This is what we're going to charge. The customer is clearly in the know of what's happening. So it's just less effort on your part, less text messages on your part, less phone calls. When you're a busy person, you're a busy mom that has 2-3 jobs, like to send that extra text message. Don't get me wrong, it's money. Like, you're not going to forget, but it's like, it's nice to take one thing off of your to-do list, right? And that's part of the Happiest Ours platform, right? Which is pretty cool. So you have that. Now, the alcohol piece. This is where this happens here. On that same third day, we're going to charge for the full alcohol amount. So according to this event here, and I know this is one thing too that we have to fix. It's picking the second day because that's what we used to do, but it needs to be the third. And I know that one of the requests from multiple bartending companies was like, hey, it'd be great if I can pick the date that the second payment comes out. Right now, it just adds more complexities. I'm not saying it's impossible. It just adds a lot of complexities to it because now all the automatic notifications, it needs to go out, 10 days before versus 5, and 100 different bartending companies at these different dates. And then, and then it's also like your contract, how does it reflect that? And all those things plays a factor. So right now we're sticking with the third date. If you feel like you need more money, what I'm doing, add more to your deposit. Just do that. Just say, hey, I need 75% of a deposit so that you're not worried about getting the rest of the money on the third day, right? Do that instead, or get paid in full if you need to do that, right? So those are your options. But so to go through it, right? They pay the deposit like 5 and 4 days before. We remind them of the second payment and that we're going to be charging for the full alcohol amount on that third day. So there's going to be 2 charges, this $5.90 according to this, and this $469.70. The customer is going to be paying for the alcohol 3 days prior to the event. There's a process. If the money doesn't go through, we're going to try again on the second day. If they don't do it at a certain time, it's like they're just not going to get the alcohol from us, or they're just risking the chances of not getting it. We will do our best to try to get it to you and make it happen, but it's just, you're risking it. So third day, we're notify them, we charge them for all the booze. You have the event, the booze gets delivered to their house for free, or to their event space for free, and it just arrives. And then now you have your event, you guys have a great time. When the event is over, if they chose the preferred brands and they were unopened, your local store, the store that the booze came out of, they will accept that back. They will take that back. If it's a preferred brand and if it's unopened, like I'm talking about the wrapper, everything is on there. Nothing has been tampered with at all. Mm-hmm. And so they will take that back. And that is a huge benefit, a huge unique within 5 days. That's another thing. From the event date, within 5 days, you need to take that back within that time frame. So
what I would recommend if you're a bartending company, right? We're all about customer service and making your client's life easier. Separate your client's bottles. Hey, Mr. So-and-so, here are all your open bottles. Have at it. Just want to make you aware before I go that you purchase the preferred brands. So I set aside these sealed bottles that we never opened, that if you would like, you can return within the next 5 days here, and you can get your money back for what you spent. Right. So just the last final thing that you're going to send to your client before you leave the event and roll out.
100%. 100%.
Okay, and now with the delivery, let's say this is for a wedding out in Temecula, and Bevmo off of Temecula Parkway delivered their alcohol to their venue. So bride and groom has to return the alcohol to that same Temecula Bevmo.
Bingo.
Okay.
And they will know with the invoice that will be when they're charged for the alcohol, that invoice that goes out will let them know the store and the order number. And so that's how they'll know which store they can return it back to. Now, in that situation, let's say the bride and groom and the whole family, they're not even from Temecula. They're like
Yeah.
from Utah or something, you know. And so it's like you as the bartending company, if you wanted to, you can provide that additional service and say, hey, I'll take it back over here for you if you wanted to. That you can do something like that. Now, bear in mind, at the moment, as it stands, whoever is returning the booze back is that the value of the difference is going to come to whoever's returning the bottles. So you would have to coordinate how you getting that money back to them if you're doing that or not. I brought up the idea is if they want you to return it back, you can use that value towards another event if I'm a bartending company. Now, obviously, if they're coming from out of town or whatever, is that useful to them? I don't know. But if they're coming from out of town, they're probably staying somewhere in the area. So one of their family members, somebody can probably take it back, you know. So that's
Right.
something to just, you know, play with that as you will on how you want to provide that service.
Okay.
Cool. Awesome. So we got this whole thing. We ran through it. So now you can save this puppy and you can generate a link. Boom. Look at this link. You can copy this link and you can send it through text message. You can send it through your emails, your beautiful emails. You can hyperlink it if you want to. However, DM it, whatever you want to do. You can send the link out. A couple of things that's coming very soon. That link will also be a thumbnail of your profile picture and, you know, and the date of the event saying quote by bartending company. Right now, it's just a nice little block. So that's going to change to your thumbnail, which is going to be a really nice little moment of delight, if you call it. The second thing,
Like moment of delight.
yeah, delight, right? They see like, oh, that's Viv, like that kind of thing through their text message, whatever. And then also there will be a download PDF button that's coming. That's the very first thing that we're working on, because we had it before, but the formatting was incorrect. So it's going to be formatted exactly how this thing on the right-hand side is.
Oh, cool.
So what you see is what the customer is going to see. And we want to make sure that that matches up. It wasn't matching up. So we're fixing that right now as we speak. And the moment that it's fixed, we'll bring back that download PDF button and you'll be able to just download the PDF. Now on that PDF will be a link, will be that same link that I copied. So they can, and that's how most, like if you go to Stripe, you go wherever, you have a PDF of the invoice, and then there's a link where they can pay. So that's exactly how that's going to be. Let me open up the link though. So I copied the link. And this is what the customers will see. Okay. Event details, one and only package, all the alcohol, what the customer needs to provide. Right. And it even tells them after the event, you can return unopened preferred brand bottle for a refund. We're allowed. Non-preferred brands and open bottles are final sell. Gives them a little additional information that I wrote on there. They can pay. This is where they pay. They can add a pre-tip if they want to. They're agreeing to your terms. So whatever contract you had in there is going to be assigned to these service terms. Your contract will be on there.
Okay.
So it's one of those things to where they have to click this in order to pay. So they're agreeing to the terms regardless. And then alcohol is charged 72 hours before your event. If your event is booked within 7 days, alcohol is charged up front at checkout. After the event, you can return unopened preferred brand bottles for a refund where allowed, blah, blah, blah. Same situation.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so this is what this looks like.
Can we scroll down for a sec? Event. Okay, so event details, bartending. Okay, there. I just wanted to see where it's putting the prices. Mixers. Okay, so it does break down like how much you're charging them for mixers and all that other stuff. It does show that to the client.
If you wanted
far
to,
right hand side.
yeah, remember, I created that.
Right. So otherwise, if we just charged everything under that one and only package, it would just show that number. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Great
But
point.
like Vivian, you place that with like your horse trailer, right? Or if you're providing glassware, I think those would probably be some of the more common.
Got it.
Right.
Yeah.
So I got rid of the mixers. I'm going to save it. This is the link here. I just refresh it. It should change. Boom. Mixers are gone.
Okay.
It's another great thing too. Once you send this link out, you can make changes on the back end and be like, you know what? I hate this person. I'm going to charge them more. You can
charge a pain in the ass.
They try to come in here. They're like, wait, hold on. We talked about $1,000. What happened? It's $2,000 now. Like, well, yeah. Today's prices is not, that thing, right? So
yeah. Well, it being that you never paid and now it's a day and a half before, you better believe it.
Yeah, you can do what you want. Like, yeah, we can do this, but do what you want. Not my style, but you do what you want. But so you have that there, and that's what's pretty cool. You make changes here, it affects the link.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Now, how long does this link stay active for?
It's forever. From my understanding, I'll double check that, but it's until you do something, right? Okay. So let me go back. This is that quote, right? You can change the stage of it, so you can archive it.
Got it.
And then there's also this manually booked option. So let's say they're going to pay you through ACH or a Net 30 or something like that. Right? So if they just can't pay you through some kind of card, you can put this manually option. Now, I would still argue to like collect the money through ACH, but then maybe charge it on your card. Right? Just because if you go manually book, the system is not collecting all the information. Right? How much bottles you moved, all the client stuff, this and that, so on and so forth. But I understand, again, we created this for pure flexibility. Do what you need to do to get your business. We can just tell you what we would do or how we would use it how you best see fit. That's why we have that option there for you. So you can use that if you need to.
Got it.
You can change the draft. Once they see it change, it moved to open. The moment that I opened the link, it moved from draft to opened or proposed to opened. Which is pretty cool. So you can know if your customers have opened up the link. Now, the only thing that I would say about that, and I probably need to figure something out. I haven't figured it out yet, because we are probably going to open up our own links, right? We're going to double.
Yeah.
Is everything looking right on here? And so, therefore, the moment you open it, it's going to say opened. So,
you can always move it back to after you open it.
That's true. That's a great point, CJ. You can move it back to draft or proposed, and then someone hits the link again, it should go back to open. Or another way to do it, show how many times it's been opened. That's how
I would love it.
Yeah, that's how we used to use some other tools that will say, oh, this has been open 3-4 times. Now you're like, oh, are they passing the link around? Like, who's paying for this thing? Like, that. So there's all
that activities ready to pay.
Right. That means they're excited. That gets you excited, right? You're like, oh, snap, we'll get this money. So you got all that there. Here's your lead section. These are all your current bookings. And these are all your completed events. That's why I'm saying, like, once the payment goes through, you are now collecting all this data of all your events for yourselves. And these are the folks that you can nurture, right? Which is great. So all great stuff that you can do here. The pricing calculator, I won't go into too much of this, but the only changes here is that we can add this light, standard, and party section to your pricing. You can see how it affects your prices, which is pretty cool. And then again, contracts, right? So you can upload any form of contract in here.
So the contract, we're copying and pasting from whatever we have already and
it. So let me do this. Because the cocktail selling situation, and I need to make it more generic, but just to kind of give you an idea. Come on. Right, selling cocktails. Let me just bring this up. Cool. I'm going to title it Cocktail Selling Contract. You can change the style, you can bold things, you can do whatever you want. Save. Boom. That's the cocktail selling contract. And now I'm going to put mixology contract. I'm going to say, don't get drunk. Save. Cool. Now
Yeah,
you have-
yes, people tell me that all the time.
Yeah.
Never.
So you have your mixology contract and this contract and that contract. You can come in here, you can edit it. All right, you can do that. You can set it as default, which is cool. This is the one that already automatically pops up when you create a whole new blank proposal or whatever it is. You can upload your language in here.
Got it. That's cool.
Cool. Okay, so now to cap this off, I'm gonna go ahead.
I was just saying, looking good.
Oh yeah, looking good, right? Looking good. All right, you guys still with me?
I'm with you.
Sweet.
Oh,
all right. So to cap this off, I'm gonna come back over here. Oh, and this is one. Yeah, this needs to change. So let me do this. See, we're fixing things as we go.
Pretty sure that must be Jordan's mileage fee.
That's a good point. That's probably what it is. But it's still confusing as shit. It shouldn't be on.
Yeah, it shouldn't show.
Yeah, I shouldn't show on that end.
It's showing a price. We think it might be a mileage fee. Yeah, okay, that's good. Anyway, so let's go to one and only cocktail package. Okay, someone sees a 916, they're like, hey, that looks, for all 20, 50 people, and what do I get? It includes everything, the mixers, garnishes, cups, straws, napkins, a cocktail menu, bartender plus the tools, up to 4 signature cocktails. It includes everything? Yeah, perfect. We probably need to word that better. Like, this includes everything. Like, you say that, and then you all the stuff. Cool. So now that's on there. Great. And they're like, continue booking. Boom. The moment that happens, a lead should occur in the back end. So if I go to quotes, and maybe it's because like I'm on the same thing, but normally what'll happen, it'll go into this inquiry situation and a lead will just pop up in there because they put in their info. What's that?
Click out of leads and click back in.
I don't know if it's because like, yeah, I think it might be a situation because I've created a custom quote with the same information because that information is already in here. You see what I'm saying? Like maybe if I did a whole new, but that's what it's supposed to happen. If it's not going to happen, it's going to happen soon. But the moment they press continue book, and if for some reason they drop off, you're going to see it. You can go in and you can see in your leads like, hey, this person dropped off type of thing. So that's cool there. Here, now you can choose up to 4 cocktails. If you guys are on the platform before, you knew that you can only choose up to 3. And you actually had to choose 3. You couldn't choose 2. Choose. That's we had a lot of feedback about that. And
now can they choose less than the 3?
You can choose 1 and you can go next.
Sure.
Yep.
You can choose 1.
Minimum 1, maximum.
So now it's choose up to 4, right? And the hottest cocktail mix, we normally always recommend vodka, whiskey, tequila. The 4th one, we're going to recommend a mocktail, right? And I think that's like a perfect, nice little, quadruplet family on your cocktail menu. But your cocktail menu, pick whatever you want. If you have a fire gin cocktail, throw it on there. If you have a fire mezcal cocktail that you think that's your hottest mix that everybody loves, throw it on there, right? But it's just what we see from seeing a bunch of events that that's what works for a bunch of people. So you can choose what you want. What's great and different is this whole thing, this light, standard, party, right? It's consistent. So you can see Jordan's pricing is changing as I change the type of pace. This is what's becoming special. Now the customer can choose. They may be on a budget. They may say, oh, man, you know what? Like, let me go a light, $8.50. And especially if you pick the alcohol, like let's choose those 3. Here's the alcohol piece. If it was standard, now you're looking at $17.56. But if it was light, you're looking at, man, that's almost $400 off. And some customers, they're like, look, I don't care if you run out, right? Like I'm providing a free service for everybody that's coming. If we run out, we run out. That's what it is. Some customers are like that. They have a hard budget. When it comes to your price, the bartender's price, the package price, the reason why it changes is because you're providing less cocktails. Therefore, your mixers, that's a part of your cost, you're spending less on mixers. And even if they chose light and you brought a certain amount of mixers and a heavy amount of people came and you went through all your mixers, that's what you chose. You know what I mean? Like, you told me that this was a light drinking pace. This is for sure not light. These people are drinking every 5 seconds. I can't even breathe, kind of thing. So it's one of those things to where they can adjust the price based off of the drinking pace. But I would still say maybe 65% of it will fall under the standard.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the customers can choose. They can still hear everything else is pretty much the same. They can remove the alcohol. They can bring it in. They can do all that stuff. They can add beer, wine, seltzers, all that stuff there, waters. Their portable bar, ice and coolers, they can take it off. They can put it on, do whatever they want. Any additional costs. And they pay. They do need to answer this event type. We took that question off on the front end to put on the back end. They need to answer that. They can still change the pace. No, actually they can't. It's stuck still. That's right.
Okay.
Stuck. So you need to go back in order if you want to change it for right now, at least. And they can pay. It's the same type of situation. They can pay and do this stuff here and check all these boxes. So taking a quick step back, well, let me stop presenting now. That was a thorough situation, huh?
It was, but it's cool. I like that we're walking through it together.
Right.
We each have different questions. We each see something different.
100%. And more questions are going to come. But, the one thing that I want to say with the instant booking flow, right, to take a step back again, you have the custom quote tool, right? That is for if people are hitting you up. You have the lead. They're in your DMs. They are texting you. They're doing this. Cool. Create the quote, talk to them, close the deal, do whatever you need to do, send it out. Even if they are purchasing everything, a convenience package, you can still use the custom quote tool for that because, again, it's less of a platform fee, right? And you're doing the work. You're doing all the stuff. You still may decide to put them through the booking tool. You can do, the customer flow. You can do that as well if you want to. But the customer-facing tool, what that is there for and what worked for us when we were doing our bartending business is that we allowed customers to go in there and pick things and book things. So we didn't have to talk to them so that we can save our time and focus on new relationships, and anything that was recurring or existing, they knew what to do. We would train our own customers to use the tool. Don't get me wrong, like that didn't always work. We do the same thing that most people use before this quoting tool is that we would go to the last page, copy that last, and just send it. So that all they have to do is pay. We did a lot of that as well. Some people need hand-holding. But we would try to get them to use the tool. And some use cases are one, and Viv, you can attest to this. Some people just find you online and they just figure out
no questions, no nothing.
They don't have
and they pay their hard-earned cash.
Right. They just want to pay. They're just tired and I just want to do it. That's great. Some people think different. There's a bunch of different types of people, different strokes for different folks. Some people don't want to have to talk to people to do things, right? There's people that buy private jets online. They will spend millions of dollars online. That's wild to me. Like, you're just going to be like, yep, here you go. That looks good to me.
So the worst thing you could ever buy is a private jet.
So, I'll let you know when I have $1 million. Okay, and then I'll do it, and then I'll regret it, and I'll let you know. Okay.
But
it's a bad investment for billionaires.
Maybe it is, but they can do it online. They can do it nice and fast and easy if they wanted to, right? So that's what this is created for. It was for that situation, for those types of people that just want to book it. You don't know what people are going through. We've got multiple stories about people how They were dealing with a bartending company. There's so much back and forth, and then they didn't get back to them in time, and this and that. They're just fed up. The event planner's fed up. They're dealing with 12 different vendors, and then they somehow start to like search for other bartending companies. They find somebody that has this instant booking flow, and they're like, what? I can put this to bed right now? Boom, I'm paying that. Like, I'm done. Let me go talk to this cake person now. You know, so like that's happened before. Now, again, it's not the majority of your bookings, but it does happen.
Mm-hmm.
The other use case is your recurring customers. I kind of brought it up, right? You want to get to a place, if you know this person books you 4 times, 3 times a year, like they book the same thing, damn near the same cocktails every time, that kind of thing, right? You know this. You can get them to just book you on your flow at their own convenience and their own time versus you having to now stop what you're doing, send them the thing, and all this stuff, things that you should be spending on new customers, right? Again, it's not for everybody. Some of your recurring customers want that hand holding, want that conversation. Cool. Use a quoting tool for that. But some of them are definitely okay. We have customers till today that just goes to happiesthours.com. They just find a bartender and they just book them randomly, right? So that's what they do. Is what we showed them, right? So there's that aspect of it. Another one that kind of came up is if you're going to give your customers a discount, if you're going to give them any form of substantial discount, even if you're going to do it, we had an episode about free events and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you're going to do something of that nature, like I'm sending them the code in my profile page. That's what I'm doing. I'm not even giving them the link to the final page. I'm saying you're going to do some kind of work if I'm going to do this for free. Here's the code. Here's my profile page. Pick what you want, use it how you will. And the reason being is because this is new to people to some extent. As long as we've been around, this is still new to people, this process. They're still very used to filling out forms and doing stuff like that. Some people get this magical aha moment. When they pay and they put in the discount code and they pay and they book it, they're like, oh, wow, it was that easy? We get that so many times. I can do that. I can actually just do it that way. That was great. Then we get the feedback and all this stuff. Now you've given this aha moment to your customer to where they may, the one that you gave a discount to, who do you think they're going to book again at some point when they get the opportunity? They're going to come after you. They're going to say, that was so cool. That was easy. I'm just going to go back and just do the same thing. So that's another opportunity there. And then the last one that I'll say is, which I brought up before, is that, again, the scenario of you being behind the bar, making a cocktail, someone comes up, loves your setup, loves your energy, loves your cocktail, and says, Viv, this is great. I have this event like in 3 days, 100 people, 4 hours. How much would you charge? You're literally in the middle of shaking and pouring and all sorts of stuff. You're like, I can't do back of the napkin math right now.
Yeah.
Like, here's my QR code to my profile page. Literally, just you stay right here while I'm making this cocktail, and then I'll make your cocktail. Just put in some like 5 questions, and it'll pop up with a price. And right there, then to take it a step further if you want to, and if you book this now, I'll give you 5% off. Like, you have to book it now though, just to create that urgency and that activation, you know, make them do something, and then boom, 5% off, right? You can give them that code right in that moment. And you know through your pricing calculator how much profits you're making off of every single event. You can afford the 5% if you created the price.
Priced it right.
Right. If you price. And then to take another step further, if you have a team of bartenders, you can offer them a commission. You can say, so now let's say Johnny is a bartender on Thirsty Horse's team. Johnny is bartending by himself and he's knocking this thing out. And now you have a Johnny discount, Johnny 2026. And if someone books him in that moment with that code, you know the exact bartender that gave that code, that used it. And you can offer him 5, 10%, whatever, as long as your pricing can afford it and it makes sense. You can offer him something like that. So these are all ways that we used to use this code, and we would generate business off of it. And it worked for us. So again, there's purposes for both sides. Again, 65, 70% of the time, you're going to use the quoting tool. You're going to talk to people. You're going to do what we do. That's how you close them and all that stuff. But the other 30%, and increasingly, we'll have this instant booking flow in different ways on how you can use that instant booking flow. So today we are excited that we have created both options, best of both worlds for our bartending community. We appreciate you guys for listening. I appreciate both of you guys for chilling and letting me ramble this whole time. And yeah,
That's
and,
good.
all right, and we're just excited. We're excited, and as you can see, we're a startup, right? So we figure things out as we go. We are super transparent. We're not perfect, but we are striving for that, and we're striving for the best tool for the mobile bartending community. We feel like we have that now, but we can always get better. We always have a growth mindset. And so, for the folks that's been with us since day one and the folks that's with us now, we appreciate all of you guys for riding with us this entire time and getting to this point. And you guys help us create the product. That's the biggest thing. You help us create it, which I think that's how all products should be made, right? So with that being said, if you are a new bartending company that's never heard of us before, but landed on this somehow through a blog or through a YouTube video, whatever, check us out. I know we'll have a link, free for 14 days. You'll talk to myself or CJ. Talk to some of the bartending companies on the platform. Talk to Vivian. Talk to a bunch of these people and see how it's working for them, and just see if it can work for you. So that's it. That's it, man. That's it. Until next time.
Till next time. Bye.